It was the hottest night of the summer, and for the first time ever, it wasn't just on one night, it was two nights. The grand stage was MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The battleground was the was SummerSlam by WWE. And for these two nights, there are history being made and a lot of talk that's going to come out in the water cooler about this pivotal moment in this historic year of professional wrestling as we know it. Hello, everybody. It's good old man Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock, and we welcome you to Talking Wrestling TXN and our two-night recap of SummerSlam 2025. So we are going to divide it into two. However, the overall review will not be done at the end of the night. So we're going to do the first night, second night, and then we're going to put a number on this entire weekend as an official score. So that is the layout. That is what we're going to do. Yeah, it was definitely a super show, to say the very least. So let's start out with night one of SummerSlam. And we started it out with the tag team matchup. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed. The winner of the bout, 21 minutes and 10 seconds, was the OTC, Roman Reigns and the Yeetmeister. Main event, Jey Uso. And it was Jey Uso getting the win for the team. So obviously, right out of the gate, this was absolutely a phenomenal way to jump off SummerSlam. This was a hot start. The fans was eating it up. And I'm going to go and say it. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This jumped it. And it brought a life of the matches on its own. It brought a lot of great storytelling. Yes, there was a concern moment because we did Braun Breaker did suffer an injury after the match. Doesn't look like it's too serious. We don't know the severity of the injury, but he was noticeably limping. But the number one thing, if you notice in this matchup, was Roman Reigns willing to bite the bullet a few times in this matchup that normally Roman would not do. Roman sacrificed himself for the betterment of the team, and it was Jey Uso that got the win for the squad. This is very telling because now, instead of it being just the OTC and the second guy, Roman Reigns made Jey Uso literally an intellectual equal to his greatness. An intellectual equal to what is the Isle of Relevancy. He made main event Jey Uso what Jey Uso truly is. Main event caliber and definitely the future of WWE. That's exactly what I saw in this match. Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed had moments in this match as well. They looked amazing. They looked incredible. One scary moment that almost went horrible was that suicide dive by Roman Reigns that almost turned into a catastrophe. Thank God he did not land on his head or neck because that could have turned into a million things of wrong. But he survived it. He overcame it. And more importantly, his team got the job done. Roman Reigns, the OTC, the ones were high in the air. And yes, there was over 50,000 people yeeting all over at MetLife. Anthony Florio, Michael Bullock, absolutely were on a yeet fest. when that was going down, I kind of tried to be as professional as I could, and these two knuckleheads, I had to yell, "Will you stop?" because of all the yeeting. But that's, part of the commentary that went down last night. Nothing more to say. Incredible matchup. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
Oh, MF. Oh, what a weekend. What a night. This was probably the best choice to open the show, but it felt more like a series of planned moments interspersed with action than a cohesive match from start to finish. The pacing got better in the second half, but it still lacked a sense of spontaneity. And that's all. I mean, it's wild to think a couple of years ago, Jey Uso having a bigger reaction than Roman Reigns seemed almost impossible, and times have changed. So I know we have a lot to get into here, so I'm going to try to limit the post match highlight thoughts that I usually do. So anyways, I'll give this about 4 to 4 1/4. I think 4.5 might be a little bit of a reach, but I think 4 to 4 1/4 is the appropriate rating for this. This was, for me, the second best match of night one, to say the very least. So, but one thing of note, after the match was over, Braun Breaker was carried to the back. That's something we have to keep an eye on, especially tomorrow night on Raw. So, definitely something that needs to, we got to keep an eye on that, see what's going on with him. Hopefully he's not hurt. I mean, we got enough injury problems as there is. So, no, nothing more to say here. So 4 to 4 1/4 for me. Excellent jump off. And there's no better way to start off the biggest party of the summer with a yeet party, to say the very least. So not much more to add on to it. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns. No surprise here. They went the predictable route. They went the booking 101 route. But don't worry, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they're going to be made guys soon enough. But obviously, they wanted to give Roman and Jey the momentum back, and no big surprise. So, Yeet Fest to start it off.
It definitely was. I mean, and yeah, I think Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are going to be fine. I mean, they're the future, but obviously, like you said, with the booking 101, they had to go this route, and one of the things I liked as well, you know how when Jey always signals for the run it back with the Yeet Fest? Well, the Tribal Chief joined in too, and that literally made my night with this. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that injury for Braun Breaker. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but we'll see. 4.5 is my rating. So Floyo, before we move on, join me on this because it's a victory fest. So ready? 1, 2, 3.
One word, 4 letters.
Yeet!
Oh, Lord. I waited a couple of weeks for this. Really? All right.
Hey, you needed this with everything you've gone through.
No, I get it. It's just, you know me. I'm just trying to be that commentator. Anyway.
He's trying to be the straight man.
Yes. So, anyway, so let's move on. Next up we did have was the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss going up against Judgment Day's own Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Winners of the bout in 13 minutes and 30 seconds. And yes, I'm going to do it. And new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Anthony Florio. History was made. Unprecedented crowning. They did it. SmackDown wins, and they are the new Women's Tag Team Champions of the world.
MF, you weren't with us on Friday night when Bullock and I did the preview show for this. But Team Hell No, Miz and Mizdow, and now you can add Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. to the list of strange bedfellow tag teams that have been pushed to the tag team championship. About 3.25 to 3.5 for this one. All right, I'll tell you what. They kept a brisk pace throughout the entire bout, which kept the crowd invested. All four were working hard to make sure they put on something completely different than the bout before them. A little lull in the action while Bliss was being kept away from Charlotte, but it didn't last too long. And there was a moment where Alexa accidentally hit Charlotte with a big right hand when Raquel avoided the impact, and that allowed Raquel and Roxanne to regain the upper hand momentarily, but not for long enough. Even with a predictable ending and a couple of hiccups, this was a solid match, and I thought Alexa Bliss was definitely the standout. If WWE wanted to get the crowd to like Charlotte, having her team with Alexa seems to have done the trick. She got a nice reaction for her entrance. So, and Charlotte's starting to become a little more likable than she was before. So, this strange bedfellow team, they had to strike while the iron was hot, just like they did with Bryan and Kane with Team Hell No and Miz and Mizdow. So, here we go again. So, 3.25, 3.5. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, new women's tag team champions, the Queen and the Goddess.
Yeah, and like you said, they have a way of pushing these strange bedfellow teams, and they did it again. They pushed the buttons with this, and yeah, Charlotte and Alexa are now the new women's tag team champions, and yeah, I could hear too. She was starting to become likable again, Charlotte, and I think pairing her with Alexa Bliss, I thought was the proper way to do it. So great job here. So 3.25, 3.5. It's yours, Fletch.
I'll go the 3.25 route. Absolutely. I thought they did a really good job. I thought it was a solid matchup. I liked the certain elements. Yes, I was a little nervous because of that connection, that little misstep between Alexa and Charlotte. And there was a moment where I'm like, uh-oh, is Charlotte gonna return the favor on Alexa? But then she big boot to the face on Raquel that opened the door for the for that DDT, for the Sister Abigail DDT, and the 1, 2, 3, and the crowning of the new tag team champions. So, yeah, it was, they might not be friends, but they are, their partnership has worked, and now they are the tag team champions of the world. And even the fans in that post-show event, they were yelling, friends, friends, friends. And even to hug it out, I don't know if that's going to really happen, but you can see that there is a little bit of chemistry between the two where they're still trying to be, it's still the Ice Queen, but the Goddess is definitely chinking on that armor, that Charlotte Flair, that tough exterior is starting to melt a little bit, and it's refreshing. This is the Charlotte Flair I think the WWE Universe has been waiting for. To be a little less of that Ice Queen. You know what, Charlotte? Yes. You got to humble yourself. You got to come down a few notches. You're not the almighty, the greatest of all. That you need to humble yourself a little bit. Show a little personality, a little humility. And it looks like Alexa Bliss has tapped into something, and Charlotte, you know her. She's got that tough exterior. So she's not going to wilt away that easily because she's Charlotte Flair. She doesn't bow down to anyone. But you notice the transition, that attitude is starting to change a little bit. She's becoming more of a likable individual, and that is why the fans are starting to rally around Charlotte Flair, because she's starting to be a little more vulnerable. And I think the more she becomes vulnerable, the more that she becomes that individual, it's only going to get better for the Queen herself. She is evolutioning herself into a package that it's going to make her likable, that's going to make her very unique because she's got all the wrestling talent in the world. And she is an amazing individual. It's just there's something about Charlotte that the fans were not connecting with. Now it's starting to look like they are connecting. So, I mean, props to her. And I think that's the biggest thing is that she is willing to do the work to try to change that image, to change the attitude of what she is. And that's why I think we're getting the ultimate payoff as we are. So with that said, we move on. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Sami Zayn wins the match in 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
This to me was one of the worst fights of the night, even though it wasn't remotely bad. But I can only give this about maybe 2.5 stars for this one. I mean, but the outcome was a little shocking. I mean, I thought maybe they would go with Karrion Kross because, look, the fans love him. You've heard it, and especially in Providence when they were chanting, and he loses, and you start, and there was a video on social media with Karrion Kross. He was literally shaking hands with the fans. And you gotta wonder, guys, could this be it for Karrion Kross in WWE? Because remember, his contract is up. So, unless something happens last minute, last second, maybe this could be like the last time that we see him in a WWE ring. I hope not, and I know Anthony Florio especially hopes that it's not it, especially with his favorite girl, Scarlett. So we'll see what happens, but I'm giving this 2.5 stars. This was one of the worst fights of the night, even though it wasn't remotely bad. So Fletch, Sami wins, but the question is this it for Karrion Kross?
I think that's really $1 million question because of the fact that yes, we've heard rumors that his contract is indeed expiring. We don't know how much time he has left. We do know that it's supposed to be very soon, and yes, there is a little bit of a concern that we may end up losing Cross. We don't know. Is this the end of the line for Karrion Kross? I hope not, but you just don't know right now. I think that's the real concern is we don't know what we're getting. But I will say this: they did a good job with it. I think it was a solid match. Yes, I think you can openly admit that this probably will be the worst fight of the night. But it was a solid matchup for what it's worth. So at the end of the day, it was about a 2.5-star bout. And yeah, there's really nothing more to add. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
2.5 stars for me. One of the worst fights of the night. I could call it the worst, but there's another one that was just as as this one. In a somewhat surprising outcome, Sami Zayn won clean with a Haluva kick. It felt like Karrion Kross was due after losing the previous encounter. The match didn't feel very long and didn't have much to make it stand out from their last bout. It was decent, but it could have been much better. And it felt like a lot of people in the crowd were happy to see Karrion Kross being featured on a big stage. He was getting more cheers than boos. But it was nice to see him get that big premium live event payday there. That was great. I've been hearing that, that this could be the end of the road for him. I hope that's not the case. Not just because of Scarlett, but because of this man's abilities. I've known this man since his days in Impact, when he was he was one of the mainstays of TNA for a little bit, and as Killer Kross. So, we're going to have to wait and see. So hopefully they can get a deal done within the 11th hour. And if it's it for him, it's a damn shame because, he had so much potential and they just couldn't get him over. So, but hopefully we'll see what happens. 2.5, one of the worst fights of the night. The next match, I think, might have been the worst fight of the night. So MF.
All right, and it is indeed. It was Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's title, and the winner of the bout in 7 minutes and 5 seconds, and still the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. And it wasn't that it was anything bad about the match. It's just that it was a shocking turn. It was a shocking turn of events because I don't think none of us thought that that was going to be the outcome. I don't think none of us thought that Tiffany Stratton was walking out with this belt. But she did. She won it. She shocked the world because I think everybody, and I think we can openly admit, everybody probably had Jade winning this belt. But she won. She overcame the odds and survived. And now she is still the WWE Women's Champion in about a 2.25 to 2.5 star bout. Again, worst fight of the night, but there wasn't anything remotely bad about the match. But it was shorter than I thought. I thought this match should have been a lot more longer than what it was. 7:05, I feel like, is a criminal. It's downright criminal what they did. So, Anthony, it's yours. History was success for Tiffany Stratton. Another successful title defense. The champion remains the champion.
And Tiffany Stratton making a case for Female Wrestler of the Year here in 2025.
Yes, she is. She definitely made some waves with that win.
She's now over 200 days as champion. She's held it since the very first SmackDown of the year, cashing in the Money in the Bank on Nia Jax. And honestly, I thought this was going to be the moment. I thought this is where Jade was going to. I mean, Bullock and I thought this is where Jade was going to win the title here, but no. And the thing is, one of the comments I read on social media said Tiffany going over was the absolute right call. And this person also felt that Jade wasn't quite ready yet. He felt that Jade is not ready yet to be the flag bearer for the women's division. So, and perhaps that individual is right. I mean, but anyway, while most of the match was good, the ending felt a little abrupt. It seemed like a perfect opportunity to give Jade Cargill her first singles title, but WWE clearly has other plans in place. And there isn't, there's not really much to say on it. And I think Jade will get her moment eventually, but probably not quite ready yet. So Tiffany Stratton keeps on doing her thing, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with it. So this was the worst fight of the night for me. So this is about 2.25, 2.5. I honestly could have very easily given Cook. I have every right to call this a dud if I wanted to, but I'm gonna be nice here, and I'll give this about 2.25, maybe 2.5. That's the best I can do for it. So a little surprising on the outcome. Thought Jay was gonna win, but no, Tiffany still the champ. I'm good with that. I'm not mad at that at all, and just a little surprised. That's all. So. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, yeah, we got egg on our face on this one. We both thought that Jay was gonna win the title here. We thought this was her time, but no, it's still Tiffy time.
Yep, it's still Tiffy time, and the more I think of this, and look, this is Jade's first. I mean, this is her first shot at a women's championship of a women's world title of any kind. And I mean, and come to think of it, because this is her first time, maybe she's just not ready yet. That maybe this was indeed the right call. So, I mean, it's shocking, yes, but I'm not at all mad. I mean, I'm glad that Tiffany's still the champion, but maybe Jade's just not ready yet. And let's not forget also, she did also miss some time from the end of the year to the beginning of the year, so with an injury. So maybe a little more seasoning, and maybe the time will be right for her to become women's champion or women's world champion, depending on the outcome of the draft. So we'll see what happens. So, but it is disappointing that they only got this amount of time, especially at an event like SummerSlam. So 2.25, 2.5, but I think this match should have gone longer than what it got. They were criminally underused in this, so really got nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
All right, let's move right on along. And the next match that we did have was Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. And when it was all said and done, believe it or not, the celebrity loses the match. Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, the winners. In 17 minutes and 10 seconds, Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
The celebrity loses? Wow. Color me surprised. We're talking your Mr. T's, your Lawrence Taylors, your Floyd Mayweathers, your Bad Bunnies. And Jelly Roll loses? Genuinely surprised. I honestly thought this was the most shocking result of the show here. I mean, Bullock and I, we did the show, and MF, I'm sure you probably would have agreed with this. But my God, this is one of those bouts where quality was secondary to everything else. The wrestling was nothing special, but they did a good job playing to the crowd and spacing out the big spots. And I got to tell you what, the table spot went about as well as it could have gone. Logan Paul landed squarely on top of Jelly Roll. And in addition to MF's legendary, oh my God, at that moment, I mean, hey, it was, I'll give credit to Jelly Roll where it's due. I mean, I got to tell you, I got to tell you, Jelly Roll, he's starting to grow on me. I mean, he's grown on me for some time now. I mean, he's like a big kid, he's like a big kid, it's almost like he's one of us. I mean, he's someone that, he's just like one of the boys, he's one of the boys. And he's someone that, it's like he's one of us. It's like he hangs out with us at our guys' nights, I mean, he certainly would be welcome to do that. And hang out, have some grub and talk wrestling and sports and other things. And, he's grown on me. He really has. And, but it was not his night. And Logan Paul, another great outing from him. And I'm not gonna overrate this. I've seen some reviewers, I believe, gave this like in excess of 2.5 stars. I will give this in excess of 3.25 to 3.5 stars. That's the best I can go with it. I'm not gonna say it was a blowaway match or anything, because it was not. But I was genuinely surprised by the outcome. I thought the outcome was going to be the other way around. I thought it was going to be Jelly Roll pinning Logan Paul for the win, but not in that case. So about 3.25, 3.5. That's the best I can go for it. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock. I never thought I'd see the day where we had a big celebrity match, and the celebrity actually loses. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was surprising. I mean, I thought, yeah, because 9 times out of 10, the celebrity always seems to win, but not this case. I mean, and Logan Paul getting the pinfall on Jelly Roll, so not the outcome I'm sure people wanted, but it is what it is. So, but I do got to give credit to Jelly Roll. I mean, he came and he did his thing, and yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. It's about 3.25, 3.5. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, 3.25 stars, and it's exactly what you guys were saying. Look, you're starting to notice a trend. Bad Bunny, Pat McAfee, Jelly Roll. Guys who actually takes the effort, takes the time, and is actually putting in the work by doing the necessary training to become a professional wrestler. And they're doing it in such a way that it thoroughly impresses us and it makes us say, hey, they did a good job. They were very impressive. We like this performance. We give them all the props and the love. That's exactly what it is. And I think that resonates with us. Jelly did a tremendous job. A solid performance, without a doubt. For this to be his first true WWE match, well done, my friend. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to add. We move on. And we move on to the main event of night one. CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of the bout in 30 minutes and 20 seconds. And new World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. But wait, there's more. After the match, Seth freaking Rollins comes out with his crutches, the Money in the Bank by Paul Heyman, and then he just warned Punk, saying that I'm going to come for you when I'm healthy and ready. He starts to leave. He drops the crutches on the ground, turns around, takes off the knee brace. The time is now. He is actually fully healed. Makes a beeline to the ring, grabs Jessica Carr, cashes in the Money in the Bank, and ladies and gentlemen, Seth freaking Rollins is now the heavyweight champion of the world. He screws CM Punk from being and holding Punk to a 5-minute reign as the world champion. Michael Bullock, oh my God. History was indeed made. Seth freaking Rollins is the heavyweight champion of the world.
So that happened. I mean, yeah, I mean, what a match this was. I mean, first off, I mean, these two, I mean, CM Punk, I mean, what a tough guy he is. I mean, taking those chops like he did. I mean, but man, oh man, he did it. He thought he had the World Heavyweight Championship. He held on to it for around 5 minutes. Then all of a sudden you hear the music and you're thinking Seth Rollins, he's coming out, and just to remind him that he'll cash in when he's ready. And then all of a sudden, he takes the jacket off, takes the brace off, and gentlemen, can we say not only the heist of the century part 2, but the ruse of the century? Can we agree with that?
We absolutely can agree with that.
Because Saturday night's main event, when it was LA Knight and Seth Rollins, we all thought that he was seriously injured. But the thing was, and I knew some of this, I knew this had to be a work, because when he was guest hosting the Rich Eisen show, he was behind the desk. We never really saw it. And we never heard of a like when surgery was going to be done. When all those things happened, I'm like, this has got to be some kind of work. And what did Seth Rollins mention about a plan B? Well, that plan B came into to the works, and Seth Rollins cashes in and screws CM Punk. He's done it to him again. And gentlemen, what's the one thing that Seth Rollins said that he wants to do with CM Punk?
He wants to make sure that CM Punk, under no circumstances, becomes the World Heavyweight Champion as long as he is around. And last night, damn it to hell, he saw to it that happened and then some.
Yeah. I mean, first he screwed him at Night of Champions. And then he did it again last night. So it's like he wants to make sure that he's neither WWE or World Heavyweight Champion as long as Seth Rollins is around. And he made sure of that. If you thought CM Punk was pissed already, this is going to give him more of a reason to hate Seth Rollins even more than he's already hated him. When is CM Punk going to strike? Who knows? All I can say is, gentlemen, you better get the security, and of course, you may have to hire the Air National Guard, because CM Punk is going to be hell-bent on beating the you-know-what out of Seth Rollins after what he just did to him. And you even saw on the post-show, Drew McIntyre, where he said, my title reign lasted longer than CM Punk, so congratulations, Seth. And you, CM Punk, karma came back and bit you in the ass. Wow. I mean, for all you CM Punk fans, I feel for you. You're thinking he came back to WWE. You're thinking he's finally got the world title, and just like that, it's gone. So, yeah, my rating for the match, obviously this was the fight of the night, no doubt. I'm gonna give this 4.5, 4 3/4. I'm not gonna give it the full 5. I mean, if you want to give it 5, I won't be upset with you, but I say 4.5, 4 3/4. So Fletch, that happened last night. As I give it to you.
It was a history-making moment. First, you got to feel for the CM Punk fans because they wanted it. Like, the moment was perfect. For CM Punk, he made the history. He won the world title. He did it. He earned that moment. And for the moment to be pulled from him because of Seth freaking Rollins, it's just hard to understand and hard to comprehend. And I know a lot of Punk fans are furious with Seth freaking Rollins. But the thing is this needed to happen. Because what was the one thing we were talking about the whole time, guys, is how are you going to make Seth Rollins a real dastardly heel? Even though everybody sings over his music, he needed to do something that was going to get him over as a nuclear heel. What do? By doing the one thing that you can do more than anything else. Cashing in the Money in the Bank and sticking it to CM Punk. But remember, what is the one thing Seth Rollins has said the whole damn time about anything? As long as I live and there's breath in my soul, I am going to prevent CM Punk from holding any world championship. He stuck it to CM Punk when they fought against John Cena in Saudi Arabia, and he just stuck him again this time around for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. This is personal now. And if you're CM Punk, you must get revenge any way possible. This is a 4.5-star thing. This was a heck of a match. But yeah, and a lot of people were furious over this outcome. But it does make sense in the grand scheme of things. Anthony, it is yours.
Yeah. I'm going to make a bold prediction in just a moment, but let me get through this first. I agree with the rating, 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. Fight of the night for night one. Man alive. But not without a smidgen of constructive criticism. They weren't in a rush to make this a fast-paced match, so they spent some time working on takedowns and submissions. Took a few minutes before they began incorporating strikes. While everything they did looked good, there was something about this match that felt off. It was like something was missing, but it was impossible to figure out what it was. They were doing everything right, but it just lacked the level of excitement that was expected until it was almost over. And but still, I mean, it was a very good match. It was a fun match. It was the fight of the night. And that little bit of constructive criticism aside, I mean, the outcome was correct. And I'll tell you what, I did hear something about Gunther having a bit of a nose injury. And because of that, he might be taking a little bit of some time. So we might not see the Ring General for a little bit because something happened with his nose. And that might have explained the blood spot. I mean, I did not have a blood spot on my bingo card for this match. But no doubt about Punk winning and the Rollins thing being a work. I mean, no surprise. They got us hook, line, and sinker. I mean, he throws the crutches down. He takes the knee brace off, the jacket, and the whole nine, and that was that. And Seth Rollins now the World Heavyweight Champion. And I got a bold prediction. I already know how this is going to work. Mania. What's going to happen is I'm already going to make a prediction right here and now. Remember where you were, August 3rd, 2025, when I said this. January 2026, the Royal Rumble, Saudi Arabia. CM Punk is going to win the men's Royal Rumble match. And then 3 months or so later, WrestleMania, Allegiant Stadium, WrestleMania 42, whatever night they decide to do it. That's the night where CM Punk will finally become the World Heavyweight Champion. There will be no Money in the Bank cash in, nobody to screw him over. Punk will get his rightful moment at WrestleMania 42, winning the Rumble, and then he'll beat Rollins at WrestleMania, and he will become the World Heavyweight Champion once again. And this time he'll get that proper championship reign. So don't worry, everybody. He's going to be just fine. So 4.5, 4 3/4. So I guess we're on to night 2 now, because I know MF wants to review both of these nights as a whole. So a little challenging, but we'll figure it out somehow. So 4.5, 4 3/4, fight of the night, and dare I say it, MF, this all ends. This is going to lead to Mania. Punk's going to win the Rumble in Saudi Arabia, and then he's going to get his payback on Rollins at Allegiant, and that's when he'll get his moment.
Yeah, I think so too. The reason why I'm saying it is because I think because a lot of the times it deserves to be just combined. So night one in the books, night 2, here we go. And we started it off with the triple threat for the WWE World Women's Championship, Monday Night Raw. The champion, Naomi, versus Io, Sky, and Rhea Ripley. Winner of the bout in 16 minutes and 20 seconds. And still the women's world champion, Naomi. And yes, this was the right call. Naomi has been the best thing in the women's division by none. And for her to win this, I can't be mad at the result. So yeah, I'm cool with it. So basically, I'll say about 3.5 stars to 3 3/4. I thought this was a solid opener, another banger to jump off SummerSlam for night 2, and yeah, Anthony, it's yours.
Solid 4, teetering on 4.25 for this one. Chants of "This is awesome" reigned from the stands. And as she was at Evolution, Naomi proved resourceful in the match's finale as she waited until Ripley delivered an avalanche riptide from the top rope, then rolled Rhea, pulling the tights and getting the win. And man alive, let me tell you this. The finisher was excellent. Not only does it allow WWE to tell the story of Naomi having to rely on another sneaky victory to escape with gold, but it also saw Rhea come within seconds of exercising the demon that is her winless record against Io Sky. Instead, she will have to wait to regain the title that has eluded her since March, gain revenge on Naomi, and finally defeat Io Sky. The reaction for the mid-match stare-down between Rhea and Io proved it is still the matchup fans are eager to get back to, thanks to the quality of their Evolution bout and the pre-existing story of Mommy's record against Io. And Naomi getting the superstar entrance, complete with her own father, guitarist Sean McRae, playing her to the ring, only helped to elevate her star and make her feel that much more special. I mean, I honestly thought it was some random musician playing on a guitar, but when I heard that it was her dad, I'm like, what? I'm like, wow. And they said that, you know, back in the day, he opened up for Kool and the Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Kool and the Gang, that's a big deal. Kool and the Gang, one of the greatest musical acts of all time. And on this ladies' night, he made it.
If you're a fan of the 1970s, that's where the Kool and the Gang is. If you want to know who they are, you want to know how awesome they are, go on YouTube. You can find a lot of their albums and a lot of their music, man. Trust me, that is the time of, obviously, my dad, Anthony's father, like that's like our parents' type music. Motown. And when Motown was actually cool back in the day.
Oh yeah. And
thank you, Berry Gordy.
Yeah, Berry Gordy indeed. And Sean McRae, Naomi's father, man, he was riffing it on that thing. Oh my goodness. I mean, awesome job, Pops. That's all there is to say on that. Awesome job. And that's freaking awesome. I mean, and I know that had to be a special moment for him. I mean, to play his daughter as the women's world champion down the ramp in front of 60,000 fans at MetLife Stadium at one of the biggest shows of the year. I mean, that had to be an awesome moment for Naomi's pops. So, well done, sir. Well done. And like Kool and the Gang always said, this opening match, it was ladies' night, and the feeling was right. So, no doubt about it. So, man, what a great way to start it off. I still think the Mania triple threat was a smidge better, but this one was just as good. I can only give it about 4, maybe 4.25. That's the best I can go. But nonetheless, a great jump off indeed. And the outcome, never in doubt. So, for all intents and purposes, it now leads to Clash in Paris in 4 weeks. Naomi, good news is, congratulations, you got by Mommy and you got by the Genius of the Sky. But now, look who's waiting for you.
Yeah,
in Shea Perry.
La Primera, Stephanie Volker.
Mm-hmm. And I think out of all the matches, out of all the Clash in Paris matches, I think that's the one MF's going to have the most vested interest in. So, but then again, I think we all will. So, 4 to 4.25, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, I mean, those painful memories of 2017 when Naomi dropped the SmackDown Women's Championship to Natalya. Those painful memories are gone. 8 years later, not only does she win, but she got played to the ring by her own dad. Doubly awesome night.
Yeah, that's definitely doubly awesome for her. I mean, yeah, the outcome was never in doubt. I mean, she just got the title. There was no way that she was going to lose it. And like you said, I mean, yeah, the good news, Yes, Naomi, you got through Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. The bad news: Stephanie Vauquer is waiting in the wing for you at Clash at Paris, and Fletch knows what she is capable of. So you better be ready, Naomi, because if not, we may crown a new women's world champion at Clash in Paris in 4 weeks' time. So 4 stars for me. Let's move on to the next match of night 2.
All right, and it was tables, ladders, and chairs for
Oh
the
my!
Oh my.
for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It was the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis, and Joe Gacy. They went up against the teams of Andrade and Ray Phoenix, DIY, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits, winners of the bout in 16 minutes even, and still the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Wyatt Six, Anthony Florio. Oh my freaking God, what a match!
With all due respect, MF, I am very surprised you still have voice left. I mean, after how many times did we hear you go, oh my God? I mean,
Oh, he was doing it more than one time, folks.
I counted about what? We counted about what? 5 or 6 at least, Bullock?
At least 5.
At least 5.
I don't even know where to begin. Michael Bullock and I had a SummerSlam chat this evening, and I'm going to tell you all right here and right now, we both lost our damn minds during this match. We were in awe of some of the...
Especially one moment, which Florio, I'm sure, is going to get into, that left us like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And it made me gain a lot, and my respect level for this individual went up tenfold. Let me just say it like that when we get to it. All right. If I overrate this, I don't give a damn. This was 4.25 to 4.5 stars. I mean, if what we got later in the night didn't happen, I honestly would have called this the fight of the night. Because let me tell you what. As advertised, the match was a car wreck, a demolition derby featuring all 12 competitors, and then some, as Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Candice LeRae, Nikki Cross, B-Fab all got involved in hopes of helping their teams earn victory. Ultimately, it was the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis, and Joe Gacy who outlasted the high risk and punishing bumps to emerge victorious, retaining the tag team titles as the numbers game proved too much for the others to overcome. For as much television time as these teams have received in recent weeks, the only thing that I didn't like about it was the crowd. The subdued reactions for them were fairly damning. Perhaps giving them some creative depth rather than defining them solely by chasing the tag titles would have served them well. All 10 challengers attacked Gacy and Lumis, recognizing the Wyatt Six were the greatest threat to them winning the titles. That's how you get a team over. And finding a way to work the women into this match. Nikki Cross, B-Fab, Candice LeRae, nice development. And Candice LeRae's bump off the ladder and through another, very cringeworthy. And I am praying to God that she is okay after that. I'm saying prayers for Candice LeRae tonight. And Joe Gacy was an all-star here, taking big bumps and selling everything for his opponents. He seized the moment and shined. I mean, where do I even start with as far as highlights go? All those table bumps. Dexter Lumis with that crazy leg drop through a table. And Montez Ford doing his usual stuff. And, but of course, the moment that, the biggest moment of them all, Candice LeRae taking that bump. My respect for Candice LeRae has just gone up tenfold. And I think she needs to be used more prominently. I'm hopeful that she'll get more opportunities down the road. she damn sure deserves it after taking that bump tonight. To an average person, that would have been a major ask, but Candice took that bump and she sold that thing like a damn champ. Well done, Candice. Freaking awesome. My respect for you has just gone up tenfold. And I know I ain't the only one who feels that way here tonight. So, oh my goodness gracious. You wanted to pay homage to the 25th anniversary of the initial Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match at this event, SummerSlam 2000, Edge and Christian, and the other two teams that were actually in attendance for this tonight. Those damn Dudleys, the Dudleys, Bubba Ray and Devon, and of course the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Matt and Jeff, the Hardys, coming off of their big time performance at the Ryan Center as part of the TNA Impact tapings that myself, Michael Volek, and our dear friend Mike Silvera went to a good 9 or so days ago. They were one of the biggest hits of the taping. Let me tell you that right now. Massively over. And at Bound for Glory, TNA Bound for Glory, October 12th, we're getting the Hardys and the Dudleys one more time. How freaking cool is that? So,
dear Lord, what a match!
Do you have any idea how many memories are gonna be we're gonna conjure up during that match?
Oh yeah.
We're talking our high school days here.
Yeah.
I mean, man alive, but we will definitely get into that come the month of October for sure. And but my God, man, what a spectacle! 4.25 to 4.5 stars. Second best. I'm gonna say it. Second best fight of the night. I don't care. As great as that women's match was, I thought this was even more insane. So, and this is gonna go down, I believe, as the most chaotic, craziest, and wildest Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match I ever saw. They tried to do the WrestleMania 17 spot with Edge and Jeff Hardy, but this time it failed. So, credit to MF's boy, the Sicilian psychopath, Tommaso Ciampa, for doing what he did to avoid it. So, but my God, what a moment. So 4.25, 4.5 stars. I don't know what else there is to say. Michael Bullock, we lost our damn minds during our SummerSlam chat tonight, and for good reason. All of those bumps, MF with all those oh my gods, but I think out of all the spots, Candice LeRae. Oh, I feel for you, darling. Prayers up.
Oh, I freaking cringed when she fell through that ladder. I'm sitting there with my hand over my mouth, like, oh my freaking God. I mean, in all the times I've seen, whether it's tables, ladders, and chairs, or any match that involves a ladder, I've seen people take some nasty falls, but I don't think anything can top what we saw with Candice LeRae. I was like, good God, I hope she's okay. I mean, this was just absolute craziness. I mean, I really don't know what else is there to say. I mean, Florio pretty much said everything. So, and you know what? I'm with him. If this is an overrating, I don't give a damn, because that's how much I enjoyed it. 4.5 stars. I mean, and believe it or not, it's only the second best fight of the night, because there was actually one match and we'll get into that later on. So Fletch, oh my God, this was complete and utter insanity. But the one thing that really scared me was Candice LeRae. I mean, I've seen guys take nasty falls through ladders, but I think this was about as worse as it got, because it's Candice LeRae.
It was epic. It was so epic. I don't think we even thought in our wildest dreams something like this would even be possible, and it did. She went right through that ladder, and that ladder broke in two. Like, you saw how the ladder just shattered when she went, and she went legs first right through. So you're thinking, holy freaking crap,
I'm
You know,
like, oh shit, she may have broken her damn leg.
yeah, you thought, but the thing is that was when I yelled out, "Oh my freaking god!" And you know, I don't do that very often. And that was the moment where I literally screamed out, "Oh my freaking god!" Was the minute she went through, when she went through. And yeah, there was quite a few spots in the match where, yeah, I do the "oh my god" in various levels, but that moment had, like, even I cringed. I turned away because I just could not believe that happened. But yeah, this was unbelievable. 4.25, 4.5, absolutely. Um, you can make an argument for fight of the night, but it wasn't. So nothing more to say. Let's move on. Next up we had was no DQ, no countouts, last chance for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. The champion Becky Lynch, the challenger Lyra Valkyria, winner of the bout in 25 minutes and 5 seconds, and still the Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
And you want to talk about craziness here? I mean, we saw some things in this match that was just, I mean, one of the things was where Becky pulled out the zip ties, Fletch, and tied Lyra Valkyria's hands. I'm like thinking, Lyra's helpless. She's helpless. She can't do a damn thing. And you're like, oh boy, it's free pickings for Becky Lynch. But she got in some offense. But yeah, eventually she did get the zip ties off, and then there was a point, excuse me, where she had the chair like literally almost wrapped like right around. I'm like thinking, oh geez, this is gonna end freaking badly. And you thought it was gonna be bad, but Becky grabbed the crowbar. I'm like thinking, oh, this is not gonna end well. This is not gonna end well at all. And then here comes Bayley to attack Becky, and Becky was like, I mean, where Bayley had the crowbar, and basically like, this woman stole your SummerSlam opportunity. Now's your chance to do something about it. But Bayley couldn't pull the trigger, and then later on, looked like Lyra was going to somehow become the champion, and Bayley had the chain, and she accidentally hits Lyra, and it's the manhandle slam, 1, 2, 3, and not only is the man still the champion, but Lyra can no longer challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Champion as long as Becky is the champ. So I'm going to give this about, what was the time again? Was it about over 25 minutes?
Yes, it was over 25 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to give this about maybe 4 stars for this, but man, Fletch, I mean, these two women did everything they could to try to get that belt. I mean, you saw so many things, including a toolbox. Whew. Man, it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, it was a hell of a match, no doubt about it. Like we said, the outcome, in one sense, it wasn't in doubt. The right person won. So I just feel like if you're Lara Valkyria, you're furious at Bayley right now. Oh my god, you're so furious at Bayley because she just cost you everything. You're out of the picture. You cannot get another shot at that title. She literally just cost you the shot at the goal. I would be furious right now. And I'd be screaming bloody murder that just happened. So yeah, this was about a 3.5. a 3.5-star bout. But hey, it is what it is. Really nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours, man.
Yeah, and I'm going to make another bold prediction in just a moment. All right. The placement on the card let this one down. This was a fantastic bout that earned a far greater reaction from the audience, which was burned out by the excellent opener and TLC. This was a great match that built on previous spots, the established story, and propelled things forward with Bayley's interference. And yeah, and MF is right. I mean, Lyra is going to take out her frustrations on Bayley. And, you know, we've been talking about we've been hinting at a potential heel turn for Lyra for some time now. I think this is where they could pull the trigger on it. I think they could pull the trigger here.
And the funny thing is, she would be validated to go heel because of what happened. She would have every right to turn heel because...
Yeah. And she's going to be like, Bayley, you effing screwed me out of a chance to become champion again. I don't care if it's intentional or not.
Yeah. She has every right to rail because she literally got screwed out of the title.
And
Bayley
had the other thing is that, again, like you said, she's never going to get another shot.
Yep. And I honestly have to say, Bayley had no business getting involved in this match. None whatsoever. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, and I think they pulled the trigger tomorrow night on Raw.
And for Lyra, she could say, I don't care if it was an accident or not. I mean, let alone intentional.
Yeah.
She could say, I don't give a damn if it was an accident. You just
because I'm not getting another shot at that title.
And it's all your fault. And it's all your damn fault. You screwed me.
Yeah.
That is not okay.
Yeah. And I think a lot of fans will agree with it. I think a lot of fans will feel like, yeah, you got robbed. You deserve another shot at this belt, but the rules are the rules.
You agreed to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens come tomorrow night on Raw when should we get the storyline progression when it comes to this situation, which I'm going to guess we will. And should we get this storyline progression, they got to strike. They got to strike with the turn here. I can see them having a bit of a summit. Bayley apologizing to Lyra. I can see Lyra maybe forgiving her for a moment, but then that's when Lyra will snap and pull the trigger. And then we'll see where that goes. But yeah, Lyra had the title won, but Bayley, wrong place, wrong time. So, but a heel turn for Lyra is coming, and I believe tomorrow night at the Barclays they're gonna do it. Solid 4 stars is the best I can go, maybe 4.25, but that crowd was just too exhausted from that the opening triple threat and the TLC, the crazy TLC. So 4, maybe 4.25. That's the best I can go, but I'm leaning more towards 4. So with that being said, let's move on.
All right. With that said, we do indeed move on, and now we get to another one of those matches that. Hold on. All right. Next up, we had inside the confines of a 15-foot high steel cage for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Solo Sikoa. The challenger is Jacob Fatu, winner of the bout in 12 minutes and 40 seconds. And still, the United States Heavyweight Champion, Solo Sikoa. Obviously, Solo got help from his boys, and that's why he successfully defended the title. All right, in one sense, I get it. In another sense, it's kind of a what the hell? But, I get it. I understand The thing is, they're probably not done with the storyline. You don't want to do it. You don't want to pull the trigger on it. I get it. I understand it. Um, so they're gonna make Jacob chase this belt for a little bit here. So fine, it is what it's worth. So not the best match, but it was still fine for what it was worth. It's still about maybe a 2.5, close to 3. Anthony, it is all yours.
I would say when it comes to this night, this was the worst fight of the night by default. Got to give it about 3 to 3.25 stars for this. This is, I believe, the meh fight of the night. Jacob Fatu is an explosive performer, and the crowd loves him. He is also a great worker, but he has little chemistry with Solo, and it showed in a match that did not need to be held inside a steel temper cage. Between TLC, a no DQ match, and this, WWE Creative put its main event between John Cena and Cody Rhodes in an unenviable position of making their street fight stand apart from the other specialty and weapons-filled bouts on the card. And they are also doing nothing for Jimmy Uso's credibility by having him make the save only to eat a big boot from Tonga, like he would not have accounted for the tallest guy out there. So the best I can do, 3, teetering on 3.25. By default, this was the worst fight of the night for me. So not much more to say on this. So Michael Bullock, easily the meh fight of the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this about 3.25, and by default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though it wasn't remotely bad. It wasn't bad at all. I mean, yeah, to me, I think this was the right call. I mean, you want to give Solo a little bit of a run with the championship, so obviously with a little help from this group. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add on to it. So it's yours, Fletch.
All right. With that said, we got 2 more matches left on this card. Next up on this one for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, the champion Dominic Mysterio versus the phenomenal AJ Styles, winner of the bout, 10 minutes and 45 seconds, and still the Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio. Anthony Florio, a lot of people thought AJ was going to win this belt, and he did not. The champion remains the champion.
And that's because Dominic Mysterio, of course, will be challenging for the AAA Mega Campeon at Triple Mania on August 16th. Which will be seen exclusively on WWE's YouTube channel in both English and Espanol. So very cool of them to give us this. That's freaking awesome. But
oh, by the way, just to let you guys know, on the commentary in English, it will be Ramon Santiago. We call him Mexi, myself, and Jake Turner. We're all going to be doing that one on YouTube for our crew here for Triple Mania.
Can't wait to hear you do your thing on that one, MF, as always. I mean, that's going to be something else. So, yeah, Dominic Mysterio will be challenging for the Mega Campeon in a fatal 4-way match at Triple Mania on the 16th. So, see how that goes. But 3.25, 3.5 for this one. Few things do need to be addressed here. AJ Styles entering in a low rider and sported tights identical to those worn by Eddie Guerrero at SummerSlam 2005, when Eddie Guerrero fought Rey Mysterio in that ladder match for the custody of Dominic. And then AJ Styles' son Avery rode in the car with him, and he sported the same buzzed, dyed blonde hairstyle Dom had at that event. Great touch. The double Guerrero lie, cheat, and steal spot, which drew a laugh from MF, with both guys feigning the chair shot from the other, was fantastic. drew a great reaction from the fans at MetLife. And this was a great undercard match that featured fun spots, had the fans invested, and employed the finish straight out of WrestleMania 20, which was also in New York, Madison Square Garden, where Eddie Guerrero defeated Kurt Angle to retain the WWE Championship with the boot gag. So it was a throwback to WrestleMania 20, but it was more of a throwback to SummerSlam 2005 with AJ Styles in the Eddie Guerrero gear and Dominic wearing pretty much the same gear his father wore in that infamous Custody of Dominic ladder match 20 years ago. So great, very creative all around. So I got to give this an extra. So for that, I got to give this at least 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 for this. So surprise outcome here. I kind of thought AJ was going to win the title because of Dom's challenging for the Triple Mania, but who knows? Maybe they want to make him Dominic 2 belts. You never know. It's possible. So 3.5, 3 3/4 for this. So Michael Bullock, what a throwback to SummerSlam 2005 with Dominic wearing his father's gear, AJ Styles wearing the Eddie gear, AJ's son looking like Dominic did 20 years ago. Man, oh man, all the memories it conjured up. AJ coming out in the lowrider, but the finish straight out of WrestleMania 20 with Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I thought that was a nice touch to it. So, yeah, I'll get this about 3 1/4, 3.5 here. I mean, yeah, I did think, I thought that Dom was going to lose the title. I mean, especially with him challenging for the Mega Campeon at Triple Mania. So, but I guess maybe they do want to make him a Dominic 2 belt. So, we'll see how that goes. So, 3 1/4, 3.5 for me. It's your Sledge.
3 1/4, no doubt about it. I think they did a really good job with it, and we're just going to move on along to the main event of the evening. Guys, this is it. The moment you've all been waiting for. The main event of SummerSlam for the undisputed WWE Championship. The champion, John Cena. The challenger, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And ladies and gentlemen, you would probably not even believe when I told you the time of the fall on this one. But at last, here it is. The winner of the bout in 37 minutes, 45 seconds, and new undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now wait, hold. So after the match was over, Cena gave Cody his props, shook his hand. They had a moment together, and Cody decided, you know what, Cena, this is your moment. Say goodbye to the fans, and he let Cena have a moment to stay in the ring. Cena was saying goodbye, thanking the fans, showing the love, and he was about to leave until a beast showed up at MetLife.
Here comes the pain.
Brock Lesnar, the alpha male of our species, has shown up and jumped John Cena. Oh my freaking God. What? Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Again, dare I say, so that happened. I mean, I don't think any of us had this on our bingo cards. I mean, well, first off, for the match, I'm pulling the trigger. I don't give a damn what anyone says. 5-star classic, fight of the night. I mean, and a gazillion times better than the match they had at WrestleMania. No doubt about it. And Cody Rhodes wanted the real John Cena. He got it, and boy howdy, they put on a show for us. I mean, it was chock full of the absolute finest Shakespearean drama you could ever find, and they left it all out there. And here we were all thinking like we were going to get a double turn. That, well, Cena is, I mean, he is the baby face, but they didn't do it on Cody. Cody's still a baby face, so. But man, as soon as I heard that Lesnar music, I'm like thinking, what? Because here's the thing. You all know the story. You remember the whole Janelle Grant case? Brock Lesnar's name was part of it. And we were all thinking, this man's never going to be in a WWE ring ever again because of this. I mean, and from what I've been hearing, and everybody's like, wait a minute, how do they do this? How do they somehow, I mean, get him there? I mean, because we didn't hear of any dirt sheets whatsoever. We didn't hear of any mention of Brock Lesnar. I mean, of him being there. But I did. Here it is. According to PW Insider, WWE secretly brought Brock Lesnar to New Jersey last night. Remember on the post show they always would do the press conferences? I think this is the reason why they stopped. Because they wanted to keep this whole thing under wraps until the right time was to make it happen. And that's what happened. Lesnar comes out to the shock of everyone. And you could even hear Michael Cole saying, "Holy shit." And he comes in and F5s John Cena. I'm putting it out there right now, folks. Clash at Paris. I think we're getting Cena and Lesnar one more time. So, man, what an ending to a great night two of SummerSlam. So Fletch, I'll say it again, like I said so many times. So, that happened.
Yeah, and actually, I can confirm that it's not all but official, but I'm pretty sure that will become official probably within the next few days. Yeah, I totally agree. I think we are getting Cena versus Lesnar in that match in Paris. Oh my God, that's gonna be insane. I cannot believe this just happened. I cannot believe Lesnar is back. And like you said, because of the legal issues that he's had. But they decided to pull the trigger. Triple H is going to have to explain himself on this one because he's definitely put himself in a quandary, to say the very least. But hey, props to them for shocking the world out of us with that one. Brock freaking Lesnar. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? Anthony Florio.
Remember what Triple H said after last night's show?
Yeah, we ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, Trips. Okay, we hear you.
He lived up to that, his saying.
Yep. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio. It was a 5-star classic, Shakespearean drama all over the freaking place, without a doubt. You could even go and put this as one of the upper echelons of one of the greatest matches in SummerSlam history.
We went from one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history to one of the greatest main events in SummerSlam history. I'll get to the whole Brock Lesnar thing in just a moment. As far as this is concerned, this was an all-timer. A match of the year candidate that ranks as one of the best in either man's long lineage of excellence. This was John Cena's best performance since his series of matches against AJ Styles in 2016 and 17, and was on a par with Cody Rhodes' recent classics against Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. The cherry on top of it all proved, as of course we got with Brock Lesnar there, mixed reaction. I will tell you that right now. A lot of people not happy about this. And there was a deafening pop for Cena's graphics turning from black to his iconic colorful background. If there was ever a time to pull a Daniel Bryan and turn it back on the fans and show them how fickle they can be, the time is now. Cena tried the alternating looks to the crowd that Rock and Hogan made famous in their WrestleMania 18 match, but Cody remained locked on him, staring his opponent down. Nice microcosm of the story. Cena jumping between heel and babyface in his last dance, while the American Nightmare has tunnel vision about one thing: regaining the title he lost at WrestleMania. Cena hoisting Rhodes on his shoulders on the elevator platform on the stage and delivering an attitude adjustment was a great spot. 5-star classic. You can make an argument this might be the match of the year for 2025 right now. And as far as the Lesnar thing goes, Triple H on the SummerSlam post show implies that John Cena wanted to work Brock Lesnar on his retirement tour. He said, and I quote, "This is John Cena's wish list. John Cena's. It's him writing the last chapter of his book." And I think people saw a conversation with us where he said we'd have to screw it up pretty badly to ruin his career. But it's not about that for me. It's about John being able to go out the way he wants to go out, to write his chapter. I know what that's like as a performer. I know what that's like for everybody to feel that. And I think for John to be able to do what he wants to do. One of the very first things I said to him is, who do you want and how? And we're working through that. So that's the story right there as far as Brock Lesnar. We're looking at Paris. I could easily see it in Paris. And should that happen, there's no doubt about it, that's going to be the main event. Even if Cody Rhodes defends the WWE Championship against somebody on this show, that's going to be second fiddle to this. So, but what a moment. What an incredible match. Beat the pants off of their Mania match, no doubt about it. Their Mania match, a lot of people said it was one of the worst main events in the history of WrestleMania. I'm definitely inclined to agree on that. But what we got tonight was far better, and this will also go down as one of the greatest main events in the history of SummerSlam. Right up there with the British Bulldog and Bret Hart. Right up there with Bret Hart and The Undertaker, Stone Cold and The Undertaker, Rock and Brock Lesnar. You know, you name an all-time SummerSlam main event. A Taker and Edge in Hell in a Cell. The TLC with Punk and Jeff Hardy. I mean, Cena and Punk. Bryan and Cena. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. So, incredible. Reigns and Lesnar, the last man standing in 22, and that's that. So, 5 stars, fight of the night, and this is definitely right up there as far as match of the year is concerned, with an ending that's going to have a lot of people talking and mixed reaction. I know there's a lot of people that are angry about this. There are some that are excited. So it's a mixed bag, but I think it's a little more negative than positive. But that's the story. That's what I heard. So 5 stars. Let's put the bow on this thing with the overall review here.
Overall review, I gotta say it. Night 1, a little weak. Night 2 was a lot stronger. And I think we can all say that. As a whole, SummerSlam definitely delivered on both nights. You had a little bit of some good stuff on night 1. You had some great stuff on night 2. Overall, 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I think it was a solid event. Like I said, night 1 was good in certain areas, but I thought night 2 was the better SummerSlam. I thought night 2 was better than night 1. I give it an 8, a 7.5 to 8 as a whole event. I thought WWE did a very, very, very good job with the way that they handle SummerSlam. So, Anthony, it is yours.
All right. As far as night one is concerned, WWE wanted it to feel like a special event on the same level as WrestleMania, but night one fell a bit short of those expectations. There's a lot of reasons why this felt like any other PLE. No special entrances, despite a massive stage, perfect for something big. Most of the matches on night one had predictable endings, and it didn't feel like WWE booked anything that was designed to leave a lasting impression other than the cash-in. Jelly Roll's first foray into pro wrestling went about as well as it could be expected, especially with the table spot he took, but Logan Paul winning in the end seemed to deflate the crowd a little. Punk and Gunther had a solid singles match with an unforgettable ending, but the bout with the most excitement was Reigns and Uso against Breakker and Reed. With only 6 matches and an early start time, every bout should have had sufficient time, but Cargill and Stratton only got 7 minutes, while Zayn and Cross had just over 8. For a show that went past the 3-hour mark, it felt like we had more product placement than action at times. Crowd was loud and appeared to be enjoying everything, but it's always hard to tell what is real and what's not because WWE has gotten so good at inserting fake crowd noise into its production. Was it a bad show? No, but it didn't crack the top 10 SummerSlams after night one. Highlight of the night was Rollins cashing in on Punk to win the title. The best in the world had won moments earlier. Other than that, most of what we got was passable but forgettable. As far as night 2 is concerned, night 2 of SummerSlam was an all-timer. From the opening match to the main event, it delivered something for everyone, with great in-ring action and the only real dud coming in the form of Sikoa and Fatu. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, the match the show was essentially built on, was an all-time great, an instant classic that highlighted what makes each man special, excellent storytelling, even better action, and an appropriate finish made for a legitimate 5-star affair. The ending of the show, though, is one that is incredibly difficult to be excited for. Brock Lesnar is back. For how long remains to be seen. Still, despite that dampening of the mood, this was everything night 1 was not. Pro wrestling epic, befitting of the event. If I had to put a rating on night 1, it would be between 7 and 7.5. For tonight, I would say this was probably in excess of maybe 9 or so. So put that together, that's about an 8 to 8.5 out of 10 as a whole. So there isn't much more to say. Michael Bullock, take it home, please.
Yeah, overall, this was 8 to 8.5. I mean, but yeah, night 2 I thought was definitely better than night 1. That's not to say that night 1 sucked. It was solid, but not overly spectacular. But night 2 was far and away better. But yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much said everything. So, Fletch, it's yours, and set the table for the future content.
Tuesday night, we do it all over again with an edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. And we do the normal, usual routine. The Monday Night Raw, the Raw after SummerSlam, and then, of course, NXT per the usual. Now, this week, I don't think there's anything on the docket for sports that I know of. So we're just going to bypass that. Friday is another edition of Strictly. It's actually going to be Cerebral Smack Talk. And per the usual on that one, we got the TNA Impact, and, of course, SmackDown Live per the usual on that one. And that's it for this week, guys. There's no other special events or anything coming up down the pipeline. So we will see you guys on Tuesday night. So for Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher saying so long, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday. So long for now. Bye-bye.